I was home, probably about 6 months ago. A little girl called me. She said, Dr. Sebi, my mother is dying and she doesn't want to go to the doctor for this bill. Then we'll go to the doctor. She didn't know what to do. No, I don't know what to do. Those kinds of things, But as I did, my man, I put together a compound that I have never thought of before. It was iron, it was nerve, it was potassium, like this coming up. Black string. As I put the compound together, I took the pull of that. I let it to flow. I couldn't believe it. I took the trigger. That's very excellent. So I went to Jamaica. And there's some Jamaicans that they went me. I went to Barbados. I went to some New Jersey. And on girls, I didn't go to the president's wife or his lawyer. So she did that to his mother. And so this compound is so good that I felt that I've cheated my brothers and sisters over the years. It's so good. I call it the Cecilia.
Cecilia is a compound made by Dr. Sebi that holds mucle as the main component alongside matico. But before you ask, what is mucle? Let me ask you this. Do you have diabetes, and for that reason you can't enjoy sweets? What if I told you that just a particular flower could heal that problem for you? Would you believe it? I know, it's unbelievable. Because mucle, the forbidden flower, has such capabilities on human health that are truly unbelievable. Even Dr. Sebi recommended it to his patients for its multiple benefits. But why is such a potent plant still flying under the radar? In this video, we'll reveal the fascinating traditions surrounding Muicle, its astonishing health benefits, and why it remains a hidden gem in natural remedies. Mucle, or Mexican honeysuckle, might look like just another pretty plant, but it's been a real lifesaver in traditional Mexican medicine for centuries. This plant, known as Justicia spicigera to science nerds, has been around forever, helping people fight off all kinds of health problems. It's not just something that could be brewed into tea to treat a simple cold. Rather, this plant has been used to tackle some pretty serious stuff like dysentery, diabetes, anemia, and even leukemia. Back in the day, people didn't have fancy pills or hospitals, so they leaned on plants like mucle. If someone was weak from anemia, mucle tea was the go-to because it's packed with natural compounds that help your body make more blood. And for leukemia, which is a scary type of cancer, healers swore by mucle's powers to give the body a fighting chance. Even diabetes, which is tricky to manage, saw some relief thanks to this plant. It's kind of wild to think that something growing in the garden could do all that, right? This got scientists quite curious, so they started poking around to figure out why mucle works so well. And the answers are mind-blowing. Turns out it's loaded with flavonoids and antioxidants. Those are like little shields that protect your cells from getting damaged. They can also calm down inflammation and even help lower blood sugar. One study found that mucle extracts could drop glucose levels in animals. Imagine what it could do for humans. Plus, don't miss the plant's blue dye. It's not just for pretty fabrics. It was also used in spiritual ceremonies and as a sign of healing. It's like mucle wasn't just about fixing your body, it connected to something deeper too. What are those things? Come on, let's find out one by one. People have been using it for ages, especially in places like Central and South America, to keep their bodies clean and healthy. It's like having a helpful friend who works behind the scenes, keeping your blood and liver in the best shape.
An intracellular cleansing. Self-explanatory. Cleaning every cell that makes up every organ and system that totals the biological you. Meaning cleaning all of you. Not only your colon, like many have decided to do, to concentrate on the colon. No. We concentrate on the whole human body. Cleansing the human body is only but one part of the whole journey.
First, let's talk about your blood. Imagine it as a super busy highway, constantly delivering food, oxygen, and other goodies to every part of your body. Now, sometimes, junk can pile up on this highway, stuff your body doesn't need, like toxins from food or pollution. That's where Mucle steps in. It's packed with natural compounds, like flavonoids and tannins, that act like cleaners, clearing out the gunk and helping your body work better. Researchers found that plants like Mucle can reduce inflammation and fight oxidative stress, two things that can lead to major health problems if left unchecked. Now, your liver. This organ works so hard to keep your body detoxed. It's like your body's personal filter, cleaning out all the bad stuff from your blood and breaking down everything you eat and drink. But sometimes, the liver gets tired, especially if you've been indulging in junk food or exposed to toxins, the things we all experience in the modern world. That's when Mucle becomes a real MVP. Scientists are now discovering that it might actually help the liver repair itself and keep doing its thing, like breaking down harmful chemicals. Fun fact, did you know the liver can regenerate even after losing up to 75% of its tissue? And Mucle might help that process along as a positive catalyst. This is also extremely good for women's health. Back in the day, people figured out that Mucle could do wonders for women's health, especially when it came to periods. You know how some women deal with cramps, mood swings, or irregular cycles? Mucle became their go-to remedy, and now even science is like, wait, this stuff actually works. Plus, it's all natural. Here's how it works. Mucle has some special compounds that help keep your hormones in check. When your hormones go haywire, everything feels off. Your periods might show up late or bring extra pain along for the ride. But Mucle steps in and helps your body find balance again. And speaking of that, it also helps with your whole inflammation issue. Imagine your body has this fire alarm. It's useful if there's trouble. But what if it keeps going off all the time? That's inflammation. And it's a big reason for those nasty period cramps too. Mucle also controls the inflammation in your body. Less inflammation, fewer cramps. And along with that, it also takes care of blood circulation. When your blood flow isn't great, it can make cramps feel worse, and you end up feeling drained. Some women drink Mucle as tea, and after a while they notice their periods get way easier to handle. Here's the cherry on top. Mucle is packed with antioxidants. These are like little bodyguards for your cells, keeping them safe from damage. Over time, this can even support hormonal health in bigger ways, like helping with fertility. So you see, it's just a generic flower plant, but it covers all the important problems of a woman's body. And then comes an extremely common global problem that people often suffer from, especially in places like Latin America. It is anemia and insufficient iron levels in the bloodstream. But Mucle is great at helping people who feel super tired and drained because of anemia. You know how you feel when you haven't eaten all day and have no energy to even stand up? Anemia is like that, but way worse. Because your blood isn't carrying enough oxygen around your body, and guess what? That's because it's low on iron, which your blood absolutely needs to function.
Like we before mentioned, iron is one of the most important mineral on the planet. And the reason for that is that iron is the only magnetic mineral on the planet. It attracts every other mineral to it. So when you ingest iron, you are ingesting every
other mineral on the planet, and they are 102. This is why when people come to us that are severely anemic, we recommend our iron, our natural vegetation cell food, which is iron fluorine. Not only does it revitalize the cells in the blood, but we should know this, that iron is what conveys oxygen to the brain, and oxygen is what the brain converts and uses for electricity. It is the food.
On the other hand, Mucle is packed with iron and other natural goodies that help your body actually use the iron it gets. Drinking Mucle tea, or taking it as an extract, is like giving your blood a boost, helping it produce more red blood cells, and making sure your whole body gets the oxygen it needs. People who've used it swear by how quickly they feel stronger and more energized after taking it. And this isn't just old wives' tales. Science backs it up too. Researchers found that Mucle contains these powerful compounds, flavonoids and tannins, that help your body absorb iron better and protect your blood cells from getting damaged. In one study, people drinking Mucle tea started seeing their red blood cell count improve, which is huge for anyone struggling with chronic anemia. Here's a crazy fact. Anemia affects over 1.6 billion people worldwide, and most of them don't even realize how big of a deal it is. It's especially rough for kids and women. That's why plants like Mucle are so important. They're natural, affordable, and they actually work.
The other is bringing back the energy that was lost by the presence of disease. That energy is supported by minerals, live minerals, phosphate of iron, phosphate of calcium, and phosphate of everything that we're going to use would have to be phosphate. Why? Because they, and they alone, are electrical. So as we recommend the intracellular cleansing, we know that the person in question, patient or client, has suffered the loss of energy by the presence of such disease. So, apart from part one, which is the cleansing, now we have to revitalize the system because it has been weakened.
As we already mentioned, packed with antioxidants, Mucle acts like a shield for your cells. Antioxidants are like tiny helpers that catch and neutralize harmful substances called free radicals. These free radicals are like bullies that damage your cells and can make you sick. By stopping them, Mucle helps protect your cells from harm, reduces inflammation, and even slows down the aging process. Here's something amazing. Oxidative stress, caused by too many free radicals, is linked to serious illnesses like heart disease, diabetes, and even cancer. Studies show that plants high in antioxidants, like Mucle, help reduce this oxidative stress. For instance, a 2018 study found that consuming antioxidant-rich foods lowered inflammation markers in people with chronic illnesses. So, Mucle doesn't just make you feel better, it actively helps protect you from these dangers. But that's not all. Mucle has strong anti-inflammatory properties, as we said earlier, which means it helps your body calm down when it's under attack. Inflammation is like your body's alarm system when something's wrong, but if the alarm stays on too long, it can lead to diseases like arthritis, Alzheimer's, or even cancer. Research in 2020 showed that anti-inflammatory compounds in herbs like Mucle might lower the risk of certain cancers by stopping harmful cell changes early. If you think this is rare, think again. Chronic inflammation is behind 60% of deaths worldwide, according to WHO. By regularly consuming plants like Mucle, people may lower their risk of these long-term illnesses. Imagine something as simple as a plant reducing the risk of the diseases that scare us most. In regions where Mucle has been used for generations, like parts of Mexico, people report fewer cases of certain chronic diseases. These age-old practices align with modern science, showing that nature often holds the answers to staying healthy and strong. Plus, there are things like coughs and colds. Imagine having a bad cold with a stuffy nose and a sore throat. Mucle is like a natural helper for that, making it easier to breathe and feel a little better. Mucle helps reduce swelling in your lungs and airways. Think of it like when you get a swollen finger, and it's hard to move. Mucle helps reduce that swelling in your nose and throat, so it's easier to breathe. Scientists have found that mucle has these things called flavonoids in it. Flavonoids are like tiny warriors that help protect your body from the bad stuff, like the germs that make you sick. So when you drink mucle tea, it's not just making you feel good, it's actually helping your body fight off the cold and get back on track faster. Here's a wild thing. People say that mucle tea can help clear out all that yucky mucus from your chest and nose really quickly, like in just a few hours. That's way faster than some of the cold medicines you find in stores. In fact, some of the same compounds found in mucle are in those expensive medicines people buy. So, if you can get your hands on some mucle, it's like nature's version of a medicine cabinet. Every year, billions of people catch colds, but not everyone has access to fancy drugs. That's why plants like mucle can be such a big deal, because it helps people get better in a natural way, just like it's been doing for hundreds of years. And finally, the modern world is a stressful place to live in. There's no denying that. Imagine you're feeling really anxious or down, like when you have a big test coming up or something just doesn't feel right and you can't shake it off. Now, there's a plant called mucle that could help you with that, and it has something inside it called camphorhydrin. Sounds a little complicated, but basically, this stuff is a type of flavonoid, which is like a tiny helper for your brain. Camphorhydrin has been shown to work wonders on calming your nerves and lifting your mood. Scientists have even tested it on animals and found that it makes them feel more relaxed and less anxious, just like how you might feel after a good chat with a friend or a warm hug. When camphorhydrin gets into your system, it helps balance out the chemicals in your brain, like serotonin and dopamine, the ones that make you feel happy and calm. If those chemicals are out of whack, you can end up feeling super stressed or sad for no reason. But camphorhydrin helps put everything back in balance. What's even crazier is that camphorhydrin works kind of like some anxiety and depression meds, but without the side effects that come with some pills. And it comes straight from nature. Dr. Sebi, the legendary herbal expert from Honduras, was really a fan of this forbidden flower, mucle. He recognized its outstanding advantages for our health, and he included it in his healing routines for a reason. Because it works as a blood cleaner and body detoxifier. Mucle also gives you a natural energy boost. Now, I know you've probably heard about caffeine, like in coffee or energy drinks, right? Well, those can give you a quick boost, but then leave you feeling drained afterward. Mucle doesn't do that. It gives you steady energy without the crash, so you can stay sharp all day long without worrying about messing up your sleep later. It's like a calm, consistent source of energy that keeps you going. Plus, mucle helps you keep away from sore joints or aches, which are quite common problems that come to you with aging. Dr. Sebi used mucle in his famous herbal energy tea. People swear by it for feeling more awake and alert, without all the crazy side effects that come with coffee or energy drinks. Imagine being able to perform better throughout the day, naturally, without relying on chemicals. Mucle is a great example of how nature has all these incredible gifts to offer, just waiting for us to use them. So, it's kind of like a hidden treasure that most people don't know about, especially if they're not from Central America, where it grows naturally. As you saw, it has some pretty awesome health benefits like helping reduce inflammation and even protecting your liver, but not many people outside those areas have heard of it. It's a bit like having a super delicious family recipe, but only your family knows how to make it, while the rest of the world misses out. One reason mucle stays under the radar is because it's tough to make money off of it in the way that big pharmaceutical companies usually like. See, when companies make medicine from plants, they usually want to patent it so no one else can copy them. But mucle is just a plant that grows naturally, so it's harder to own it like they can with synthetic drugs, which are man-made. That means companies aren't as interested in promoting it because there's no big profit to be made. It's like if you had a business selling cookies, but your recipe was one everyone already knew, while someone else had a secret recipe and could make a ton of money from it. The real kicker is that synthetic drugs, stuff made in labs, are much easier for companies to patent and control. so they get more attention. In fact, only about 5% of the drugs we use today come from plants, even though plants have been used in medicine for centuries. It's crazy when you think about it, because a lot of the medicine we use now still comes from plants. But because of all the red tape around patents and profits, natural remedies like Mucle just don't get the spotlight they deserve. The problem is, without big companies pushing it, people don't know about these natural alternatives. And that's a shame, because nature has some pretty powerful solutions if we just give it a chance. You just saw Dr. Sebi's discovery of Mucle highlights the power of nature in reversing disease. By embracing these traditional remedies, we can align with his vision of plant-based healing. Have you tried Mucle or experienced its benefits? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more insights into natural health solutions. See you soon.